Good morning on the East Coast. Good morning on the West Coast. Good morning and good evening to other parts of the world. Today, we are talking about, innovating your print process for that improved customer experience. And these are strategies you get from, the grandfather of online. We'll call it the grandfather of online shopping. That's Amazon. And we're going to talk about the Amazon experience because that's not just a concept. It's a true term that has come to pass over the last, I'd say, 10 years, because everything points back to how they are changing the game and have changed the game when it comes to an online and e-com shopping experience. Of course, you've got the two wonder boys of OnPrintShop as being able to talk through this today. Nimesh Patel, he's one of our senior managers, been with OnPrintShop, just past his 11th year here at Radix. And OnPrintShop is very intimate with knowing the ins and outs of how to use a platform like this to help transform your world. And of course, I'm Trent. I'm here in North America, located in beautiful Hot Springs, Arkansas, where, I bring in a nice background of being inside of a print shop, in and around the printing world, and using e-commerce as a strategy to help build my online business and previous businesses throughout the printing area as well, and creating those efficient workflows in the background. So between the two of us and the rest of our wonderful team of support and development and business development employees and team members on the back end, we're here to talk with you. And that's why we like to bring you these great webinars, so hopefully you'll be able to take away something to help your business grow as we go forward. So Nimesh, I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you, Trent.
So let's jump in. Objectives today. The constant question: why is Amazon driving consistent success? If you had Amazon stock early, that is a very successful stock. I think it's well over $2,000 a share right now. I mean, it just consistently performs with what's going on. There's a couple of two major things we want to learn from what they're doing, and then we want to transition this on how to innovate that process and innovate your print process by learning, from Amazon, and then 2 simple steps to transform your customer experience, because we're going to focus really a lot in on that today. And you're going to hear us say the phrase modern customer experience. That's a key to being able to implement a lot of these strategies that we're going to be talking about. So a couple of things, really cool. Fortna has a great article on 10 ways Amazon's raising your customers' expectations, not just their customers, but your customers' expectations. We really got to pay attention to this, because the trickle down of the Amazon effect shapes every industry that even thinks about wanting to go online. And all the major companies are watching this, everything from Shopify, Magento. I mean, the Amazon marketplace is becoming, the way to be able to go find what you need. And there's a really interesting statistic that comes out of that. And I'm not sure if you know that as of 2019, it was about 46.7%, but it's actually grown to more than half. Online shopping starts with Amazon, not with Google. Going on and making that Google search of where can I find X. Now more online shopping starts at Amazon than going with Google. So that really becomes the question. If you get them there first, we want to be able to retain them. 89% of those buyers, they would rather buy their products from Amazon than other e-commerce sites. A lot of that is brand integrity. A lot of that is just, comfortability, but it still comes down to the one thing. And this is why they retain 90% of their customer retention. They make it easy. They make it easy. They make it easy. You talk about easy. Let's talk about Prime. Amazon Prime is their biggest seller that they have. And the reason they do this is they focus on the existing clients. They get you to sign up. They want to go with Prime. Prime has over 100 million subscribe members as of right now. And why is that? Well, it started with free shipping. Now it makes it easy. It remembers what you're doing. It finds things that with that easy button. But there's a great article in Shipware. It's the Amazon effect and the Amazon effect and consumer expectations. It's a guide. And in there, Jeff Bezos was quoted saying that they had 3 big ideas at Amazon, and they've used those 3 big ideas over the past 18 years. It's put the customer first, it's innovate and be patient. And that's why we're saying focusing on that customer, they're able to increase that repeat buying habit. It's really so that you'll come back to them first. I mean, because getting that new customer, it's very costly. Going out, you're looking at Google AdWords, you're looking at, direct marketing, social media marketing, direct mail marketing. I mean, going and finding that customer, the cost becomes, you need them ordering, minimum of $100, minimum of $200, in that order a month after being able to take in all the costs of going and find them. Well, a 5% increase in customer retention can increase your profitability by up to 75%. This is a huge stat because what it does is it really turns you into more of a farmer of your current customer base, and you're complementing that with your hunting capabilities that you have. So 80% of your company's future revenue will come from 20% of your existing customers. And it's just seen all over the place, spending all of that social media, that Google AdWords, and you need to be doing this. You need to be making sure you're marketing your company. But to get that one customer that comes in, orders one box of business cards for $35, and then you may not see them again, over the course of the next 6 months, 8 months, a year, you've got to be able to focus on getting those repeat customers. Car industry is a great example. That's why they now also have all these service and maintenance and routine inspections and everything. Because when you buy that car that one time, you're not looking to come back. The average is 5 years before someone purchases a new vehicle. So what we want to make it very easy for is you've got to get your customers on repeat. It starts to really transition you into a very complementary thought process of being a farmer and a hunter, because, once you get that customer in there, 44% of them say they're very less likely to shop around because, again, you've made it very easy to repeat buy their current orders. 3 times more likely to repurchase because you've made the experience very nice for them. They want to recommend your product or service to other businesses, other consumers, because, again, you've made it very easy. I mean, how many times have you said, hey, where did you, I have a mug. Hey, where did you get that? I bought it off Amazon. You need them to be able to say, hey, I bought it at Transparence. I bought it at OnPrintShop. I bought it at, Westex. Juliet's on here, and price becomes a little bit less of the sensitive nature. Everybody's looking for a great deal. I get that. But, 33% saying they would, need a discount over that 20% before they defect to you. The company's going to have to lose, another company's going to have to lose a lot of profitability to be able to grab your customer away because you're treating them extremely nice. So what are the 2 major aspects that we're learning from Amazon? Again, what do we take away from them? And it's keeping the customer experience very easy. You want to combine that. I mean, that's what it is. It's a consistent, it's an easy, it's a very modern customer experience. And then when you start to combine that with that post-purchase process, the efficient process in the back end, I see their order, I'm communicating with them, I'm able to walk it through my process to efficiently get it out the door and into their hands in a nice way. Well, what does that do? It's the KISS method, keeping it simple, because that's what breeds success. That's what we're looking for. So today, that customer experience is an absolute must. I mean, we lose 50% of our customers every 5 years. That's looking at the loyalty effect from HubSpot and Forbes. They're tracking this over every major industry. And a lot of it is because they're finding things online. I saw a great example of, you walk into, let's call it a Best Buy, a brick and mortar, looking for a computer, and the salesperson is talking and gives you their recommendation of the 3 brands that they have right there in the store. And as the salesperson walks away, in that 2 minutes, you hit your phone and you look up the reviews of those products. You look up, the price of those products. You might find it somewhere else, because 82% of customers have said they have stopped doing business with a company due to poor customer service. I mean, if you're outdated or it's not a simple process, customers are going to go somewhere else. And they're not even going to call you to tell you that they're going somewhere else. They've looked at you online or haven't found you online. And you may even never got the phone call to try to win their business. You may have great customer experience, but it's not seen on the front end. And it results in a lot of revenue being lost just from a poor customer service. I wrote an article recently in the NPSOA magazine that talked about, that process exactly. Just being able to say, hey, from the time I walked in, poor customer communication, no real, real presence to be able to, walk my order through, and then just trying to figure out if it's done. It leads to you going somewhere else, and that's a big deal. So today, setting up processes is an absolute must. 9 out of 10 companies lose revenue just due to an operational issue. It's just due. Let me rephrase that again. Things fall through the cracks, and you don't want that to happen. Making sure you know where your orders are, customers know where their orders are, what's going on, and revenue losses could be up to 20 to 30% just for things dropping through the cracks. And that's what you want to be able to take away. Amazon, we go back to the Amazon effect. It's done very, very efficiently. They're consistently trying to innovate to get that product, that product you order in your hand as fast and efficient as possible. And then still being able to track where all of those boxes are. I mean, the Amazon, the dots, the echoes, the all of that, being able to know exactly where this product is with the barcode, in their shop. I order it. How fast is it going to get to me? How efficiently can we get it done and get it into the hands of the consumer? That's a huge, huge concept that everybody's got to be looking at going forward. So, you want to make your customer's life easier. These are the things we've learned. Consistent experience using technology, and, that proactive updates and streamlining your process. And, you got to look good doing it. So let's go back and recap what did you learn? What did you learn from Amazon? It's real simple. Make it easy, make it easy, make it easy. And by the way, you really have to look good doing it. So, Nimish, I would love for you to talk about, how to innovate those print processes and, get that improved customer experience, and the things that you've seen over your last 11 years.
Thank you, Trent. And the question is now basically how whatever we have learned from the Amazon, how to implement to simplify the print processes, especially for the print provider and for our end customer. And I would also like to share some of our biggest myth that it is Amazon. It's a big company. That's why they're able to do it. We are a small company. We have a small team. But it's not we are focusing that we have to have everything what Amazon is doing. We really need to set up the basic processes. And today, because of the technology available in the market, as well as SaaS platform and the cost-effective model, it is very, very cost effective to set up the simplified processes. But before we go into it, like what to innovate in our print processes, we really want to understand the basic fundamentals of how customer interact with us, where we have the major communication gaps. And there is a high dependency on the key people of the business. Whenever we talk with a lot of print owners, they are saying like we are busy in customer handling or we are busy in day to day. They never get out of the business. So they are in the business rather than on the business. So they have manual touch points or major touch points where every customer have to interact with the key people. Either they have to connect with the sales rep connects with the estimator connects with the owner for negotiation. Then there is a graphic designer. There is a lot of multi-channel communication is happening. So even we get an order, if you can calculate the number of touch points we have, for example, done to capture that order, you'll be able to understand how much we are losing in terms of, as Trent mentioned, like what is the revenue we are losing due to inefficiencies. You'll not be able to calculate because there is no actual dollar going out of your pocket. But then if you really calculate the number of touches versus the profit you have made for that order, then you'll be able to understand that the number of touches versus the order, what is the value you're getting. Like we had one customer, like they were one of, in terms of very well established print company. And when we met with them, they says like they're based out of California. So we went in Printing United. So before of the exhibition, we planned some meetings. So that customer said like, even in spite of having multiple online platforms, we have some backend platforms, they are not integrated. So sometimes we are turning down all the small orders because we know that if customer is demanding a small order, it will go to the sales rep will send it to the estimator will estimate it. And by the time we get that order for that small quantity, already we have spent like $200 to $300 internally because of so many people touching it. And even after order is confirmed, they would have maybe an internal system, then customer is again dependent on them to get the order updates. And then basically when the orders are delayed, because there is no centralized system, they might have some orders coming from the website, some orders they might be directly putting into an MIS, or they might be managing so many orders via email and phone. So if you consider, even though we have a system, we are not able to manage all the orders from one single system. Either there is a lack of the technology ability sometimes, because the web to print is so specific or only made for one specific segment. That is also a big challenge. So then they have to manage multiple systems. So along with the storefront, they also have some offline channels or some other system to manage. But then when customer demand an update, they still have a dependency on the multiple platform. Then reordering takes almost the same efforts as the new ordering if you are just managing by email and phone orders. And that's where we really see that these are the minimum or gaps we can really solve and then have improved the customer experience. So this is not only making our life easy internally, because many of the print service providers might say we already have a sophisticated system in the back end, we have an accounting, we have an MIS, we can pull the customer record anytime. But then your customers are not getting any benefit out of it. Still, your customer will have to email you, phone you. You have a data in your single click. Do your customer have a data of their previous orders, order history, their order status is within a single click? If not, then customer experience is not achieved. You might have a streamlined processes in the backend, but then you still do not have anything which is making customers' life easy. So we have to focus at both the aspect. We have to make our storefront, or we have to make our online presence so easy for customers so they can interact. And we should also have the backend streamlined processes. And some of the questions we are hearing from customers, like that's why we have put why they are not able to upgrade the processes. First of all, companies think they're too small, that setting up a web to print or it's only for the big customers or big printers. It's not that. Even a small print company would need a web to print much more than the larger company, because larger companies have at least enough people, and SME people are always struggling and they always have a lack of resources. Even labor shortage is an issue. So they need to have the better processes. And even technology investment wise, there is no, it's nothing like that only maybe large companies can invest into a web to print. To set up a simple system, any SME print companies can also focus. Even without a web to print, if we create a simple website with a simple forms, that can also offer better customer experiences rather than just calling or emailing or just sending an email and requesting a quote. So first of all, why we are not able to upgrade the process? Because we feel that online technology or online experience is only for new sales. But it is for our existing customers first. So if you really automate your existing customers ordering process, if they're able to easily submit the jobs, if they're able to easily get the estimate without the dependency on the sales rep or on your key people, that's where you will save a lot of time from the existing repetitive task. And then the same technology, web to print, can also help you focusing on the new sales. If we directly focus on new sales, we have many companies directly come to us and say, we are always means we are okay with our existing clients. They are just emailing us, phone us, they are really fine. We have an MIS, we put all the orders there, but the website is only for the new sales. And then they never get out of those repetitive tasks because existing customers are still dependent on email and phone, and they are not starting with the existing customers. And then nobody spend time on the new sales. So unless and until you have your existing processes set up, then only you come out of those processes and then focus on the new sale. And that's what Amazon has done. Amazon has do not have two processes. Okay, new customers, go here. Existing customers, you do not have an account on Amazon.com. Just email us. How would you feel? So Amazon, whether you are an existing customer, new customer, small customer, large customer, they have the consistent process. Second, we are really focusing on the selling rather than problem solving. For example, we are just, for example, even at OnPrintShop, we have changed our focus rather than selling the features, rather than saying it is in OnPrintShop as a designer studio, it has a front end, it has a back end. Now our focus is like, what is your business problem? What you are trying to solve? Even our honest approach, sometimes we are feeling that it's maybe a customer do not have a clarity on the web to print, or they do not have any problem or anything specific which can be solved by us. We upfrontly say, this is not the solution for you. So at the same time, we also need to understand that what problem customer is facing with us, what are the problems we are trying to solve, what they need, rather than just selling maybe a print paste. So becoming a solution provider, becoming a problem solver rather than just selling. The second is technology paralysis. So technology paralysis, why we are saying paralysis? Because it's a complete change management. Everybody have to be involved. It's not just that, okay, this is the job of the sales rep or this is the job of the estimator. No, it is the whole change management. The way you have grown your brick and mortar business, so the same key people will be required in order to implement it successfully. Even there would be a team members from even a web to print side or on print shop would help you, but you really need to be involved into these processes. We really need to share the common goal why we have implemented this. It is to make our life easy, it is to make our customers life easy, and that's where we really need to adapt as a change management rather than just focusing on a limited part of the business or continuing with the same status quo what we are following. So again, coming back, we only have to focus on two aspects. All the other activities will go round, and then you will just come back to this 2 points. So first of all, we need to think whatever customers we are having, how do we offer them the consistent experience? Whether they are ordering for the first time, whether ordering for the second time, third time, 10th time, whether it is a new customer, whether it is an existing customer, whether the customer is small, whether the customer is big, it is a large corporate, small corporate, but how we can offer them the same consistent experience, how we can offer them ordering and reordering simplified. And if they are having a simplified reordering or ordering, then how we can define the better processes in the post-purchase, like production and all. So what backend system we should have in order to achieve the post-purchase processes. So these two simple aspect we need to focus. Now, what to do to offer consistent customer experience? So let's just focus on the first part, like how we can simplify the ordering and reordering for the customer. So the very first thing, understand your target audience needs. And depending on the target audience, they might have a different needs. A small customer versus a walk-in customer versus a B2B customers. Even in B2B, there might be small B2B, then the large B2B. So let's understand what those customers are and what are those their needs and how we can give them the better customer experience. So we need to simplify their buying processes. And right now, how do we currently manage their buying process? How many touch points we have? How many manual touch points in terms of how many people are involved? And what are the different softwares we are using? Are they integrated fully? Or can we reduce the number of touch points? What are the processes we can really reduce, and what are the processes will involve the key people? It's not like everything should be automated, because there is also a human touch in between. So at least we can reduce those 50%, 70% of touch points. For small requests, they don't need to, for example, be dependent on us. And then constantly getting the feedback. That's the most important part. Even at OnPrintShop, to be honest, we have grown this product just because getting the feedback from the customers. If I share, we are just an IT technology company. We never had a print background. Like Trent is coming from the printing department and he has worked in the print business. I never worked in the print business, but I can feel, because I've been doing this from last 12 years. Still, there is a lot to learn, to be honest, but then we really understand what customers processes are. We really go inside and then we keep getting the feedback. Sometimes customer facing the challenges, we say, okay, what are the challenges? Tell us. We'll come back to you with maybe the better approach, or in the next version of OnPrintShop, we will try to include those challenges. And that is where we see, and then we still see there is a lot to see. The same thing we really need to understand from our customer. Keep getting the feedback. Create a survey. We, like last time we created, means we had this basic survey, but what we did, we created an automated survey. It's an interesting example. We created an automated survey which sends an email to all our customers every 3 months. The same survey, some of the questions might change, but the email is automated. So it sends to all thousands of customers, and then we get feedback, like where the customer is liking, not liking, some of the challenges. But that has really helped us to understand, because maybe this quarter you do not have any challenge. Next quarter, you might have some customer unique requirement and you might want to share us something. And we get so many good feedbacks from that. What should be the next move in the technology? What should be, for example, we should put into as a new feature or functionality. So that's how we can also get the feedback, simple feedback from our client. We can automate that. We can just trigger an email to all our customers. What would you like us to do? How would you like to make your life easy? And then let's hear what they have to share rather than imagine what they need and what they're lacking. So capturing feedback, in any industry, it is must. So we should also start this with existing customers. Doesn't matter small, large. If you have the customer database, you can easily automate this and capture the feedback. And then we need to understand how we can simplify the ordering and reordering. So in this, we have just created this. This could be multiple touch points. Even in your case, you might have some more processes, but these are the basic touch points we have in the print processes, like estimation. Then after the estimation, maybe if they like it, then order confirmation, payment, design approval, getting an approval and proofing. And then after we send orders to production, updates and delivery, and getting a customer feedback, and then make sure he buys us with us. So these are the all the touch points we get in the print ordering steps. So how we can simplify these all touch points, either via technology, either via system, either via web to print, but then how we can have the consistent processes. It's not that, okay, if there is a new customer, they'll order on a web to print, all other customers will email us, phone us, or we might hear from a lot of customers that our web to print is only for those handful customers who are larger account, and we have created a private portal for them. And we say like, what about the other small customers? You only survive with those 5 customers? No, we always, or we have like 200 of small customers. All those 200 customers are small, so they do not order regularly. So they just email us and phone us, and we manage through via QuickBook, or we manage via maybe MIS. So then that those customers are not getting any good experience. Plus they are small orders, and where you have the maximum touch points. So those orders have to be automated first, and your large customers are already happy, but then your small customers are dependent on email and phone. So if I really want to grow 200 to 400, what will happen if you get 400 customers like that? How would you manage email and phones? Or what will happen if you reach 2000? So we really need to think as all the touch points. Doesn't matter whether customer is small or large. As I mentioned, Amazon, they do not tell you that, okay, you are a large, then you just follow this process. Or you're a small customer, you do not have an account on Amazon, just go to this rep and call them. So it's not that. Any customer, any size, any industry, they have the same processes. So we need to also implement the same processes. And once we do that, the backend processes have to be also simplified. So post-purchase processes, we can call it. So set up the process. So if Amazon have the best customer experience, and if you see after placing an order, if you don't get any update from the customer, if you don't get any update from Amazon, what would you feel? If you go in Amazon and your order history is missing, what would you feel? If you go in Amazon and call them, say where my order is, how would you feel? So if the customer experience is excellent, but then you're missing out on basic backend processes, still customer experience is affected. So you need to have the combination, as Trent mentioned, the consistent customer experience, and in the backend post-purchase processes.
Yep.
So how we can set up the processes, identify what are our key people are doing, rather they are in the business or they are on the business kind of thing, means they are in day-to-day in the business activities, or they're really focusing on the growth activities. Second, setting up the uniform processes, as I mentioned, simplify the production process. Like, for example, many of the customers are just using the simple storefronts, but then in the backend, it is all disintegrated. So they are pulling the orders from the online system or e-commerce, then they're pushing into some other system, and they have some production systems. So still the manual touch points are there. So production processes plus whatever updates they do in the workflow or MIS, the online system doesn't have any updates. So then customer, if you call them, they have to go into another system and find out updates. So those simplifying production processes, integrating the workflow, it's very much important. So you need to have the right technology which can be integrated with the backend platforms. And then you need to have the key dashboard, key analysis reports, which gives you the key highlights. So every stage, if you're a business owner, you need to have the key highlights in terms of how many orders, how many quotes, where those orders are. So those kind of key information is required. And you also need to have the timely reports in order to understand what customers are buying. Like we had one customer mention that they had some kind of system, but then it was not actually a visual where you can see a dashboard and you can see reports. He mentioned like, I forgot. And surprisingly, I just remember that we had one large client and I didn't see any orders from them. So I asked my team that, have we received any order recently from this client? And they mentioned like they went inside the accounting system because it is all manual. And they said, oh, they were getting surprised because that customer didn't order from last 8 months. So they did not have any clarity that this customer did not order from last 8 months. So did not have any analysis, or they were not having easy access to the reports. So it was a surprise for them. And then maybe I don't know if they were able to retain them or that customer already chosen some other provider, but we are not able to get those key data on hand. So that is what we mean on the post-purchase processes. So anybody could set up these processes. It doesn't have to be so complicated where we have to set up every possible thing into the system. You can easily set up a basic customer experience and the online storefront within even 3 to 5 working days. Not able means not even setting up the full products, but even setting up a simple system where customers are able to submit the code on a specific product, and then you're able to process from the backend. And many of the time, customer print provider would have an objection that we do everything custom. We don't have any standardized product which can be estimated. That's fine. Still, you are putting a lot of time in the communication. So you can easily set up the simple custom code form, and then it generates a code ID. From the backend, you start communicating with the customer. Instead of email and phone, you have one system to track all the codes. So even that is saving like 50 to 70% of the time, even if you're managing codes. And for standardized product, you can easily set up. And now assume that your 50% customer will start ordering online and your 50% customers will not order online. That's okay. Still, you have a system. So your backend team, your sales rep can go into the same website or the same storefront, or even in the backend, we have an offline order system. So they can input the order on behalf of customers. And we have customers doing it. Right now, we have some customer in India. India is not like such an online ordering kind of audience, especially in the print. People, even those print customers are ordering on Amazon, but then with the printer, they might just want to email them because it's easy. I'll just email them. I need this, and then let them work out all the things. So what these guys do, as soon as somebody email them, they have a customer service team. They will just go into the backend and add an order entry, and then it will trigger an email to the customer. And then rest of the process is uploading the file, checking the order, getting the invoice. It is all done by the system. So even though customer email them, call them, they will just put one effort of putting that order into the system, and automatically system will send them an email, system would give them an order ID. And out of that, some customers would be even making an online order.
Well, and I had this example come up as well, because the question became, I have a problem where I'm at a chamber function. I'm at, I'm eating, I'm with a client who's a friend, and they go, I got to remember I need 2 banners for our grand opening event next week. Well, you enter the order offline right then and there for that customer in that customer's account. And again, your touch points now are already into the process of what's going on. So it's the same, that experience of you didn't have to wait. Remember, I got back to the shop. I got to put it in this. Can you go online? And no, let's just put it in and move forward. So that 2-minute process saved 30 minutes of hectic when you remembered it the day before the banners are due.
Even one of our customers were just doing custom codes. Every day they were getting like 30 to 40 custom codes. Emails. They send an email back, and then there is no way to track. They might have sent 30 codes yesterday. They might have sent another 30 codes day before yesterday. Now they don't know which codes were accepted, which codes are not accepted, which codes maybe customer want better price. And then it is all done by the sales rep. Sales rep sends an email, and then estimator sends a back. Sales rep backs to the customer. Now estimator doesn't know what happened to the code. And salespeople, so then they just again call back to the sales rep. What happened? Can you find out from the customer? Now what they did, they just created a simple website with all the code segments like digital print and then white format and custom die cut. Sales rep, whenever they get any request, on behalf of customer, sales rep goes and fill up that form. And that means customer will get a code ID, because sales rep would put the customer email ID when they are submitting the code. And then the backend team gets that notification that somebody requested a code, and they already know that, okay, it would be from the sales rep, means their internal salesperson, because he has done on behalf of the customer, and then they will start communicating directly with the customer. So salesperson job was to just generate a lead, and then rest of the process is done by the backend team. And now salesperson can focus on maybe acquiring some other customer rather than following up those things which can be done by the other team members.
Well, and I'm gonna say his name here for just a bit, but Chuck Warniger's on our webinar. He deals in the education world, and so his customers are teachers, administrators, but he has a massive customer base that he has to deal with, and to try to manage day-to-day operations of everything from test copying to, more complex orders, if those were coming in via a Google form, how most school districts do things. My wife's a teacher, I get this, Google Forms, but being able to track and the customers, the teachers know where things are, I don't think they would be able to survive, with the just inundation of communication that comes in. Let's not even talk about him trying to run all his, his inkjet presses, because he loves inkjet presses, but just the inundation of communication becomes a huge factor. Sorry, Chuck, I saw you there. But that really transitions us to talk about, we've had this, we've seen this. I mean, you're going to talk about it with A+, from our, from inside of our customer base. We have a great, we've been doing this. OnPrintShop's been doing this for more than a decade. And in the last 4 to 5 years, really putting a focus on, this order management process, the shift from web to print, into an order management. You still have to make it easy, make it easy. And then once you've done that, continue to make it easy for your customer to be able to, have that retention quality that's there, because again, customers are gold, and being able to retain and have them just easily reorder, or then not just easily reorder. There was, another piece that was in there saying, hey, you bought this, other customers also bought this. So now you start to expand that market share just within the customer base, which becomes a big piece. And I know you wanted to talk about A+, which they're a great example of, where we're talking about trying to, retain customers and increase revenue.
Yeah, and they were not even big. Like, as I mentioned, one of the biggest myth we have is like, they are big printer, they can do it. I am small printer, I cannot do it. They have big team, they can do it. I have a small team, I cannot do it. Because the objective is not becoming big or small, or the objective is like, I want to make my customers' life easy. So I'll put any effort to make my customers' life easy. Whether it is online, offline, it's not only a web to print, to be honest, we make customer life easy. There are a lot of things, but that is like one of the easiest way, or one of maybe the cost effective way. So A+ was not A+ in terms, they were just small Florida based local printer. The only thing they wanted to make sure, like, they wanted to increase the business, they wanted to make a global reach, and they wanted to increase what they could do as a best print company. And that's where they realized that technology is one part of this process. And then they started with maybe some other platforms in the market, but then a lot of challenges, because the way they wanted to offer multiple customers and online ordering, especially in the reseller space, they were not able to capture that customer experience. The estimation was a problem. So today, another challenge is like, if we are using already a web to print platform, you really need to understand what kind of sales channel you have, and all those sales channel, like retail, walk-in, small B2B, large B2B. Do you have a system to manage? So you're not buying a web to print just for your limited 1 or 2 types of customer, but you are buying the web to print or online technology to offer the consistent customer experience to all the sales channel. And that's where OnPrintShop, we have created some specific features in the retail storefront. Even if you have a small B2B, you can manage that. Resellers, you can manage that. And if it is enterprise, large customers, you can offer them the B2B private portals. But from a public side also, you can manage smaller customer. And that's where they started getting benefit. So they were, the other web to print system they had previously, it was only for one limited segment, versus today they are managing all the types of customer. Even if it is a small reseller, they are ordering online. They also have some large corporate clients who are ordering from a private portal. They also have some small retail customer, they're also ordering online. And OnPrintShop has a system where you can group the customers. So if retail customer logs in, they see retail price. If reseller logs in, they see reseller price kind of structure. And
makes
that's
them
where
feel good. Makes them feel good is again, it's the experience.
Yeah, it's the experience. And then another time what happens is like, because the web to print is limited, you only are able to set up the limited types of customer. And that's not the challenge of the print provider, because print provider print company really want to automate all the processes for all the clients, but their web to print is limited. So 58% of all print shop customers have migrated from other e-commerce technologies or other web to print. And one of the biggest challenges that we wanted to launch retail, but then our web to print was only for the B2B. We have small B2Bs now. Web to print, we did not have any system to manage those small B2B single users. This B2B was only for, means this web to print was only for large corporates kind of thing. Our web to print is not able to integrate with our accounting and not integrating with our MIS, not even integrating with simple shipping and QuickBook accounting platforms. So that's where we've been in terms of understanding the customer's feedback. And that is what making the OnPrintShop different than the e-commerce. One is already a system. It has an order management, and then we are very open to integrate. And this is a specially designed system for print providers. At the same time, the web to prints, there are so many web to prints in the market. Every web to print is good out, I would say. But many of the time, the challenges are it is only meant for one specific types of sales channel. Either you are managing B2B, they are good with B2B. As soon as you start once a new sales channel like B2C or maybe resellers, you start facing the challenges because those web to print doesn't have that specific feature or that specific customer experience you might not able to offer. And not only large, even the small print shops, we have customers, the small print shops, and they have today become the one-stop solution provider. So this See the House Media is from the Oregon, a small local print company. They were only doing local businesses, but today they are doing business, I guess, from multiple states by sitting it in one location, but they are getting online platforms. So, and then they are focusing on customer experience. Anybody who walks in, even in the Cedar House Media, they send them to the website saying, okay, if you want to come back, you don't even have to walk in. This is the website. I'm creating an account for you. And then they keep sending them the emails, and that's how they have increased 200% increase in the repeat sales, improve order processing time by 90%. And a lot of questions were asked for simple processes. I can understand if they are a print shop and not having a sophisticated system, but now everything is online. Anybody can log in, get those responses. So 70% time required in order processing, they have reduced. And they are with us from quite a long. So it's not only large and small. That's why I took an example of one small print shop and one was a large printer. So maybe some people who do not know basic OnPrintShop, then it's just an order management and integrated e-commerce platform. So this is an A+ site. They are trade printers offering, I guess, almost any types of products. And because they are into reseller space, they have created variety of products. And only registered users can log in and can get the estimate right away. And a lot of small print companies like See the House Media, for example, they have also simplified all majority of the products in the price calculator. So anybody directly goes online and get an estimate right away. And the same system their internal team is also using. So if they get any call inquiries and saying, oh, I need a business card, then the team would ask what kind of business card, what kind of paper. And then they'll just say, can you just give me your email? And directly from here, they will send quote to the customer. So this system, the website, is also used by internal team because now they don't have to wait for the Corey. Corey is an owner for an estimate. They can simply go to this option and say, okay, sir, we got an estimate away right away. I'm sending an email. They can download the estimator. So there is also easy system. So even your existing team members can do this and then send this email to the client, and client will get an exact link of this product. So when they click, they would directly go into the specific product. And now we have also customers saying, no, we don't do this type of standardized product. We are very, very custom. Every products we do, it's all custom. Then we also simplified the custom job management. So we call them as a custom project. So you might call them as a custom quotes. So in that also, you can differentiate the number of categories you do in the printing, white format, foil embossing, die cut, whatever major print categories you have. Somebody would just request a quote like they're doing on the website. But in this process, normal website or normal systems would just have a simple form and they'll send an email, and the rest of the processes are all manual. But here, as soon as they fill up this form, we give them the quote ID that, okay, this is your quote ID, and then this becomes your tracking that, okay, this is the quote ID customer requested for something custom. And in the back end, you have this simple quote systems. So you can exactly see how many quotations you have, which are all custom job could be. So you fill up, means you create that custom form in the front, customer fill it up, your backend team members start saying the custom requirements, give them the price, and system will trigger an email, and then you can track how many quotations are already accepted, how many quotations are not accepted. You might say, no, our customer sends an email to sales rep, then sales rep will come into your website. He knows that, okay, he can submit a quote for any customer. So sales rep would fill up a form on behalf of customer. While filling up a form, he can put the customer name, email. So you got the quote on behalf of customer from the sales rep. Now you can directly start commenting with the customer without sales rep intervention. And that is what I was explaining. We had one customer managing 30 quotes a day. Now with this system, they have reduced 70% of email phone, because as soon as salesperson adds the quote request on behalf of client, these guys start processing from the back end. Now sales rep is just focusing on new clients. So this is, for example, a retail customer experience that anybody who walks into the shop or who walks into an online site, they see a retail price, for example, and then you might have some small B2B customers, and you might want to give them a better prices, or you might have want to give them some kind of special privileges than the more normal retail customer. So we also have an SME B2B accounts, because not all the customer would be qualified to have their own portal, like private portal. So in that case, what happens is you are simplifying your small customer's life. You are saying, okay, you are our premium customer. You might be our SME B2B customer. So we are giving you the same access what other customers are getting, but because you are maybe a premium customer, we are giving you some special price. And because they are a premium customer, you can group them group wise, you can offer them a discount, and then you have a
And they have their designs and they have
yeah,
their images and they have their artwork that you've created for them. So again, that retention piece, it's there, it's easy.
correct. It is similar feature like private stores, but then they are single users. So we give them all those features in the My account. They are having a pay on accounts, as Trent mentioned. If they have, if they're a small real estate company or a lawyer company, you can also set up their actual templates, PDF templates, so they can simply edit it online and order it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have an enterprise client, which are large B2Bs. You can always create a private store. Another challenge for a lot of print customers, we are saying like, why are you not offering online storefronts to your B2B clients? They might say, no, this B2B client is not ordering a lot, and it's too much effort for us to build a private store for that small customer. They are just single user or maybe 5 people company. Then you do not build the private portal. Then you can just give them this premium account and store those, for example, few files with their ordering. So I don't have to build the full private sites. Why do I need to build the private sites? They are because they are a large company, multi locations, maybe hundreds of users would like to order, and they want to have some specific products only in their storefront. Then I can build. But all the smaller customers, retail customers, SME B2B customers, resellers, you can all give them an access to the same public storefront. So everybody would see all the products, but then when they log in, they might have a special pricing, and some of the artwork or unique templates they might be able to see from the backend. And once the customer experience is simplified, the next process is in the backend. As I mentioned, it's not always customer would order online. You can also place an order on behalf of customer directly from the backend, even for walk-in customers, customer utilizing it. Once I add an order from the backend, system will make an order entry directly into the customer My account, and then they will start tracking or start doing the rest of the processes on their own. So even if they email me, I would just go and enter the order here. Same, if anybody emails me saying, can you send me a quote? I will just make a quote entry here, and the rest of the activity will be done by the system. And the biggest feature, even in V10, the last webinar we did, is like the job board and these processes and these analysis. We have detailed reports, but in the job board, especially customers are appreciating that they have a complete clarity how many orders they have right now running in the production, and that's which helps them to prioritize the order. They can see which are the orders needs to go out tomorrow, which orders needs to go out on this particular date. As order comes in, this job board would building up, and then this job board is as per the production processes. So if you have multiple production members, you can also create the variety of stage and views. But if I log in as a pre-press, I only see limited jobs which are in my stage, like how many jobs which needs my attention for awaiting proof approval. So I can grab that job, I can click on it, and I can see what the order is, what the file is. I can download the file and then do my job. And then once it is done, I can say proof approved. Now this will trigger an email direct to the clients. It's simple drag and drop. So we are making it so easy. Many of the time, customers are using Trello and Project Manager for order management. So they might have an e-commerce or basic system.
Yeah.
Then somebody would create a ticket in the Trello, and then they would be just passing this to this. But here in OnPrintShop, the same system can be managed. But then again, if you have multiple system, project management, you have e-commerce, then you have web to print, still there are manual touch points. So even though you have two platforms, you're still doing a manual entry. And as Trent mentioned, that can really impact in your revenue. You can lose up to 20 to 30%. So in spite of having two platforms, in spite of having two payments you are making to two platforms, still your touch points are the same, because you are downloading the job from e-commerce and then you're putting in Trello, and then Trello, you are doing this. So you need to have maybe one system, consistent processes. And then if integration is required, then you can make the integration to third-party platform, MIS workflow. There is an API. So it's not that every press or every order and pre-production processes are managed in OnPrintShop. There are a lot of other aspects, or you already have a sophisticated MIS and you already set up over years. We can also pass the data directly into it. So the overall objective, again, coming back, is to set up the streamlined processes with OnPrintShop, with any system you have, and then having this consistency for end client and also in the backend. So objective of OnPrintShop is like how we can achieve this with a single platform, where you can have one platform to centralized order management for any types of clients, small, large, big, walk-in, email, phone, even other marketplaces, we're also able to connect. And then every customer gets the consistent experience. In the back end, you have your own workflow automations, even print partnering and vendor is increasing. It's not always you can process or you can fulfill all the customer needs. And small print companies are also partnering with a lot of large players. So we also can connect to them. So you can automatically pull those products for over Cena, and then you can start offering to your clients. And then in the back end, it will be automatically pushed into the suppliers platform. So overall, OnPrintShop's objective has been how we can help print companies to simplify customer experience for their end client. So if our customers grow, we grow. So end of the day, in order to help you grow into multiple segments, that's where OnPrintShop have defined the overall. So our objective is always like how we can help our customers grow. So if they grow to the next level, of course, we'll be growing as well.
So we go back to what we started all this. What did we learn? What did we learn from Amazon? And that goes back to, I think it was slide number 10. Focus on the customer, make their life easier. There are 3 points that they, the quote from Jeff Bezos that talks about the 3 points that, what are they doing? What have they done? The 3 big ideas that they've used over the last 18 years. Put the customer first, so make the customer's life easier and better. Innovate, which is make your life easier on the back end using a consistent experience through technology. And be patient, which means continue to work your process, have those proactive updates, make that streamlined process, just work it through, build your customer retention using the technology. And then now as you're hunting and you're going and finding these new customers, you can look and say, hey, you walk into that large hospital. Let's talk about it. Let's just stay in a hospital. You walk into that large hospital with many different departments and lots of different ordering agents, and everybody needs something different. And you have a little purchaser who he or she is just things in and out, in and out. We can help you make your experience a whole lot better. Let your staff, let the hospital order what they need. The approvals come back to you and everything is kept and streamlined. You can see all the communication. They know where jobs are. They're not asking you. You can be able to respond to the finance department. It's making that customer's lives easier. And now you get sticky and you bring that retention cost up, because as we talked about, a 5% increase in customer retention can increase your profitability by 75%. It's a big number. It's a very, very big number. So lots of things to chat about. Of course, we're always here to be able to talk more. Nimish, myself, we have a great staff with Sandeep and Neil and Janvi and Hammett and a whole lot of great business development teams that can be able to help you talk about, how we've been able to work with customers over the last decade. And we have a great support staff that once you're on board, you can be able to talk with them and help identify new challenges and new problems and let them be able to help and address you. So, let us be your technology partner. Let us be the catalyst of that innovation that wants to take you into that next level. And we'd love to talk to you.